Okay, let's just jump right into it. Today's explainer covers a deeply personal and honestly a really painful topic, the warning signs that your husband might be cheating. Look, I know this isn't exactly a lighthearted subject, it's heavy. And if you're tuning into this, you're probably carrying a whole lot of anxiety right now. But our goal in exploring this source material today is to bring some real empathy and some much needed structure to the chaos you might be feeling. We're going to break this down step by step using direct clinical insights from couples therapy to help you understand what's actually happening when you suspect infidelity. We actually need to pause right out of the gate here because this is so, so important. The very fact that you are searching for these warning signs, that means you are already in a state of distress that absolutely deserves to be validated. You know, you aren't here by accident. Clinical experts tell us that just typing those words into a search bar is a profound indicator that something in your relationship is off balance. You really don't need hard proof to justify the fact that you're hurting or feeling deeply insecure in your partnership right now. You know that deep, unsettling intuition you're experiencing, that literal ache in your gut, that is real and it completely deserves your attention regardless of what the final outcome might be, whether it turns out to be infidelity or something else entirely. That feeling is your body's alarm system going off. Too often, we try to talk ourselves out of our own instincts, right? We tell ourselves we're just being paranoid or crazy. But the main takeaway here is that your internal alarm is a completely valid data point. Don't ignore it. All right, so let's move into section one, trusting your gut feeling. Before we even start looking at specific behaviors, we have to establish your internal compass. And honestly, this clinical reality might shock you. Based on insights from therapists who have sat with literally hundreds of couples in crisis, what you think are dead giveaways might actually be pointing you in the completely wrong direction. The classic signs that pop culture and magazines tell you to look for, they are often deeply misunderstood. And this is exactly where so many people get lost because they're essentially reading the signals upside down, which brings us right to section two, the behavioral checklist trap. We all love a good checklist, right? Mostly because it gives us this false sense of control when everything else feels totally out of control. But relying on them in this specific situation is a massive trap. You've probably seen this exact list of obvious behavioral shifts a million times. Guarding the phone like it's holding state secrets, unexplained gaps in time, emotional distance that just seems to drop in overnight, defensiveness when you literally just ask, hey, how was your day? Maybe a sudden drop, or strangely enough, a sudden surge in physical connection, routines that just don't add up. These are the things that drive you absolutely crazy as you play amateur detective in your own home, constantly keeping score to see if it equals betrayal. But here is where it gets really complicated, and it perfectly illustrates why those checklists fail completely. Those exact same behaviors that absolutely scream affair could just as easily be signs of something entirely different. Phone guarding and emotional distance, well, that could actually be a secret health scare he's terrified to talk about. Defensiveness and weird routines, that could be deep hidden shame about failing at work, untreated anxiety, hidden depression, or even his own unprocessed fear about your relationship. The signs alone simply do not tell you the full story. So moving on to section three, checking the relational temperature. So what do we actually mean by relational temperature? Basically, it's the true underlying climate of your connection. But here is the massive red flag, the single most crucial indicator. It's when this temperature drops, things get freezing cold between you two, and your partner absolutely refuses to help you understand why. That lack of explanation, that flat out refusal to partner with you in figuring out the distance, that is a far, far bigger warning sign than any single behavior like changing a phone password. Think about it practically with this amazing metaphor from the clinical data, the cold house. If you're sitting in your living room and it's suddenly freezing, you don't just sit there making a mental list of every single appliance that might be broken. You don't just inventory the issues. You say, hey, it's freezing in here. What changed? And you work together to find the open window or the busted heater. The exact same principle applies to your marriage. If it feels cold, you need to be able to ask why and fix it together. All right, let's look at section 4, starting the honest conversation. So how do you actually do this? Here is a highly structured, totally non-accusatory script you can use. Step 1, notice the issue directly, but leave all the accusations at the door. Step 2, name your feelings. Say something vulnerable like, I've been feeling disconnected from you and I'm scared. And step 3, ask to talk. Just say, can we talk about what's happening between us? Using this very specific framework allows you to step completely out of that exhausting detective role and instead genuinely invite true vulnerability into the room. Now lean in here because you need to pay very, very close attention to this next part. How he reacts to that gentle, vulnerable question matters 100 times more than any behavioral checklist. Does he get defensive and angry? Does he completely shut down or does he soften? How open is he to you in that moment? Does he move towards you to comfort you or does he physically and emotionally pull away? His willingness to be present right then and there will tell you almost everything you need to know about the actual state of your relationship. And finally, section 5, tools for outside help. Look, we really need to reframe how we view relationship help. Bringing in a third party, whether that's a therapist or a specialized online tool, isn't about hiring a private investigator to catch someone in a lie. Not at all. It is a necessary, structured, safe space designed to help you both untangle the actual truth when direct communication between the two of you is completely broken down. Unfortunately, there are some really fantastic immediate tools available to you right now, all grounded in the clinical work of licensed marriage and family therapist Figsel Sullivan. For starters, you can take their free empathy wisdom score. It's a quick 5-minute assessment to get a snapshot of your relationship patterns. Then there's Figlet AI, which actually offers relationship coaching specifically focused on navigating lost trust. And the best part is there are no wait lists. Or you can take the free FIGS quiz to identify exactly what underlying pattern is running your relationship in under 3 minutes. These tools are quite literally designed to give you that structured clarity you are craving right now. Which brings us to our final thought today, and it's a pretty crucial question for you to ponder. You deserve clarity. You deserve a partner who actively helps you get there. So ask yourself, are you truly ready to face what your gut already suspects? Are you prepared to finally put down the detective checklist, trust your own instincts, and take the next structured step toward the truth? Thank you so much for joining me in this explainer today. Just remember, your feelings are incredibly valid, and you absolutely have the tools to find the answers you deserve. If you want to work on this for real, try Figlet, my AI relationship coaching app. You can start for free, no credit card needed, at figlet.empathy.com.